And now.
Yes, thanks very much for that, Sally. Joining me here in the studio is Cornelia Meyer, Chief Executive of Meyer Resources, but also on the advisory board for the Istanbul Finance Summit. Cornelia, very warm welcome. Lovely to see you. We heard about the measures there from Sally that the government is trying to do to reassure investors. Is it enough? Will it do the trick?
I don't think it will do the trick, but let us look at the Turkish economy as a whole. Yes, tourism is very important, but manufacturing is also very important. Turkey is also important to us. 3% of global oil supply goes to the Bosphorus, and another 1.5% comes through pipelines from the Caspian, from Russia, from Iran into Europe. So it is a crucially important country. What gives me heart is it has a strong middle class. It's a typical middle class economy, about $12,000 per annum GDP per capita. So yes, it will be very tough, but the stability is sort of there because there is a strong middle class, and that means also there's strong consumers in the country. But definitely, they need tourists, they need arrivals. We should be heartened by the fact that the Bosphorus was only closed for about 2-3 hours and then opened again, but it is important to us in Europe what happens there.
It's a very critical time as well, isn't it? It's important right now that we see some stability, because you say there's a strong middle class, but it's polarised. There are those who are for the Erdogan government, and then there's a strong group who are also against. And then add to that the problem with, of course, what happened over the weekend, but then we've had the terrorist attacks that have happened in Turkey this year, in several key locations.
Well, absolutely, and what we have to see, Turkey is the farthest east outpost of NATO, farthest east outpost of Europe, and next to Syria and next to ISIL. So yes, you have some Kurdish insurgents, but you have also ISIL. You never know quite who is there. There's a lot of people with guns who don't mean well floating around, and that is difficult. And yes, the government will crack down quite heavily, and you know, in Europe we have a very sort of democratic view, but on one hand, on the other hand, we do need Turkey to be stable. We really do. It's the most eastern outpost of, you know, of sort of the Europe.
Cornelia, we were mentioning that you're on this advisory for the Istanbul summit. What will you be advising them to sort of deal with the challenges they face?
Well, we have already had lots of talks, and I brought through that this year our key topic will be geopolitics. So we'll do a big geopolitical panel, so saying, look, how does geopolitics affect Turkey? What does it mean for the markets? But then we have our usual panels on financial markets, where we have Frankfurt there, we have London there, we have, you know, all the financial markets there, seeing how they interact. So it will be business as usual, but with a very strong focus on geopolitics, just to assure foreign investors, you know, to help them get a handle on what's actually going on.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Cornelia.
Great to see you.
In.
Thanks.